Chapter 1: The Oversight. How we forgot Anthony Edwards. Every great story has a twist. Sometimes, the most obvious things are the easiest to overlook. When we dropped Souls of Sports number 5, the 3 number 1s, we thought we were telling the story of history in the making. 3 consecutive number 1 overall NBA draft picks: Cade Cunningham 2021, Paolo Banchero 2022, and Victor Wembanyama 2023, all living up to the hype and showing the potential to be future Hall of Famers. But then, something hit us. We weren't just witnessing 3 straight potential Hall of Fame number 1s. It was actually we forgot Anthony Edwards, a rare streak in NBA history. The reason we overlooked it: it's been so long since the NBA has seen even 3 consecutive number 1 picks who all lived up to the hype and became Hall of Famers. It's only happened once before, with the legendary 1982-1984 draft trio of James Worthy 1982, Lakers legend, 3x NBA champion, Hall of Famer, Ralph Sampson 1983-4x All-Star, Hall of Famer Hakeem Olajuwon 1984-2x champion, NBA MVP, Hall of Fame for nearly 40 years. The NBA never had another streak like that, so when Cade, Paolo, and Wemby started making noise, it already felt historic. But then we remembered this isn't just 3, it's 4. And if all 4 of these players stay healthy and fulfill their potential, this will be the greatest streak of number 1 picks in NBA history. How did we forget Anthony Edwards? Edwards didn't just come before the others. He might be the best of them all. He's already an NBA All-Star. He's already led his team deep into the playoffs. He's already a franchise player. He's already being compared to young Kobe Bryant. Unlike Cade, Paolo, and Wemby, his success isn't hypothetical, it's happening right now. We made a mistake, but sometimes the best stories come from fixing those mistakes. And that's why we're here now, because Anthony Edwards is the forgotten one no more. This is his story, Chapter 2, The Rise of Anthony Edwards. From Atlanta to the NBA, early life and high school dominance. Anthony Edwards' journey to NBA superstardom started in Atlanta, Georgia, where he was born on August 5, 2001. From an early age, he showed elite athleticism, but surprisingly, basketball wasn't even his first love. Football was. As a kid, Edwards played running back and quarterback, and many thought he had a future in the NFL. It wasn't until around 8th grade that he truly shifted his focus to basketball. His explosive athleticism and natural scoring ability quickly made him one of the best high school players in the country. By the time he attended Holy Spirit Preparatory School, it was clear Edwards was a generational talent. McDonald's All-American 2019 consensus 5-star recruit, ranked number 1 shooting guard in the nation. Named to the USA Today All-USA First Team. Despite his growing fame, Edwards remained humble, staying close to his Atlanta roots and using his upbringing as motivation to reach the highest level, college at Georgia, proving he was NBA ready. Unlike most elite high school players who choose powerhouse programs like Duke, Kentucky, or North Carolina, Edwards made an unexpected decision. He committed to the University of Georgia. Why? He wanted to put Georgia basketball on the map. He wanted to stay close to home. He wanted to be the man on a team instead of just another star at a powerhouse program. Even though Georgia wasn't a traditional basketball powerhouse, Edwards dominated from the start. 19, 1 PPG, 5.2 RPG, 2.8 EPK, SEC Freshman of the Year, scored 33 points in 1/2 against Michigan State, showed elite scoring ability, athleticism, and NBA-ready skills. Despite Georgia struggling as a team, NBA scouts saw the bigger picture. Edwards had superstar potential written all over him. By the time the 2020 NBA draft came around, there was no doubt Anthony Edwards was the best player available. The Minnesota Timberwolves selected him with the number 1 overall pick, making him the next in line to carry the expectations that come with being a top pick. And from that moment on, Edwards never looked back. Chapter 3, Rookie Stardom and Early NBA Success. Welcome to the league, proving the doubters wrong. When Anthony Edwards was drafted 1st overall by the Minnesota Timberwolves in the 2020 NBA draft, not everyone was convinced he was the right choice. Some questioned his love for basketball, citing his past as a football player. Others believed LaMelo Ball might have been the better pick. Many wondered if his shooting efficiency and defense would translate to the NBA level, but from the moment he stepped on an NBA court, Edwards silenced all doubters. Electrifying rookie season 2020-1 averaged 19.3 PPG, 4.7 RPG, 2.9 APG. Made the NBA All-Rookie First Team, dropped 42 points against the Phoenix Suns, Becoming the third youngest player ever to score 40 in a game, became the youngest player in NBA history to hit 10 threes in a single game, showed elite finishing ability, explosiveness, and star-level confidence. Even though the Timberwolves struggled as a team, Edwards' scoring ability, charisma, and athleticism made it clear Minnesota had a future superstar on their hands. Year 2, the leap to a star player 2-1-2 in his sophomore season, Edwards took his game to the next level, averaged 21.3 ppg, 4.8 rpg, 3.8 apg, improved his three-point shooting to 36%, dropped 49 points against the Spurs, led the Timberwolves to their first playoff appearance since 2018. What made this season special was his fearless attitude. In his first playoff series versus Memphis, he went head-to-head with Ja Morant and showed no fear, scored 36 points in his playoff debut, hit clutch shots and played elite defense. He proved he was built for the biggest moments, becoming the face of the franchise 2022 present by his third season. Edwards officially became Minnesota's franchise player, averaged 24.6 ppg, 5.8 rpg, 4.4 apg, made his first NBA All-Star team, led the Timberwolves back to the playoffs, dropped multiple 40-point games, and established himself as one of the best young scorers in the NBA. At just 22 years old, Edwards was already being compared to greats like Dwyane Wade, Kobe Bryant, and Michael Jordan in terms of skill set and mentality, and with the way he kept improving, it was becoming clear he wasn't just a future star, he was on track to be an all-time great. Chapter 4 Playoff Breakout in the Superstar Mindset 2023 Playoffs, the moment Anthony Edwards arrived. By the time the 2023 NBA playoffs arrived, Anthony Edwards was no longer just a rising star, he was a legit superstar in the making. In the first round against the Denver Nuggets, the Timberwolves were heavy underdogs, but Edwards put on an absolute show, averaged 31.6 ppg, 5.2 rpg, 5.0 apg, dropped 41 points in Game 2 and 36 points in Game 5, went toe-to-toe with Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray, had one of the coldest game winners of the playoffs. Even though Minnesota lost the series, Edwards made it clear to the world he was built for playoff basketball. The 2021 season, taking the next step. By the 2023-24 season, Edwards had fully embraced his role as Minnesota's leader, became the team's #1 offensive option over Karl Anthony Towns, averaged career highs in points, assists, and efficiency, developed into one of the NBA's best perimeter defenders, became an all-star starter for the first time, led Minnesota to one of their best regular seasons in franchise history. Now, it wasn't just about potential. Edwards was delivering at an elite level, a mentality that separates him from the rest. What makes Anthony Edwards truly special isn't just his stats, it's his mentality. Fearless competitor, he wants to take the last shot and isn't afraid of it. Why matchup? Loves the big moments, the bigger the game, the better he plays. Charismatic leader, he has the energy and confidence to inspire his team. Elite two-way player, he can take over a game on offense and lock down the best player on defense. The Kobe and MJ comparisons, too early or justified, because of his playstyle, mentality, and athleticism. Many have started comparing Edwards to Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. While that's a high bar, the similarities are real. Explosive scorer who thrives in isolation. Elite footwork and ability to create his own shot. Tough physical defender who takes pride in locking opponents down. Clutch shot maker who embraces the pressure. It's still early in his career, but one thing is clear: Anthony Edwards isn't just aiming to be great. He wants to be one of the best to ever do it. Chapter 5 First off, our apologies for forgetting it, man and souls of sports. 5 * Now the road to the Hall of Fame. The historic 4-year streak of #1 picks. Before we fully dive into Edwards' Hall of Fame case, let's address the historical significance of what we are seeing. Anthony Edwards 2020, Cade Cunningham 2021, Paolo Banchero 2022, and Victor Wembanyama 2023. This marks on Litwise in NBA history. 3 or more consecutive #1 picks have the potential to become Hall of Famers. The only other time, 1980 to James Worthy, 1983 Ralph Sampson, and 1980 for Hakeem Olajuwon. And even then, it was only 3 straight. What we are seeing is unprecedented. What Anthony Edwards has already accomplished. At just 23 years old, Edwards has already checked off many of the boxes that make up a Hall of Fame career. #1 overall pick. K automatically puts him in a rare group. multiple-time NBA All-Star, already one of the top players in the league, franchise leader, he's the face of the Timberwolves, elite scorer and defender, a true two-way superstar. Playoff dominance, has already led deep playoff runs. Team USA standout, was the best player on Team USA in the 2023 FIBA World Cup. He's not just good, he's historically great for his age. What's left for him to cement his place in Springfield? While his career is still unfolding, here's what could solidify him as a guaranteed Hall of Famer. Win an MVP. He has the talent to be the league's best player one day, lead Minnesota to the NBA Finals. Even one Finals appearance would put him in rare company. Win a championship. If he wins a ring, his legacy skyrockets. Continue being a dominant two-way player. If he keeps making All-NBA and All-Defensive teams, his case is undeniable. The bigger picture, the future of the NBA, Anthony Edwards isn't just on track for the Hall of Fame, he's also one of the faces of the NBA's next generation. With LeBron, Durant, and Steph nearing the end of their careers, the league is transitioning into the era of Edwards, Wembanyama, Banchero, and Cunningham. And if he keeps climbing the way he has, there's a real chance we look back and say, Anthony Edwards wasn't just one of the best players of his generation, he was one of the greatest to ever play the game. And make sure to explain the connection. To Souls of Sports number 5, how we forgot to include Anthony Edwards. Even though not only was he a fourth in a row, he definitely makes the cut as far as being a great enough player. Chapter 5, Securing His Legacy. The Road to the Hall of Fame. The connection to Souls of Sports number 5, how we forgot Anthony Edwards. Before diving into Edwards' Hall of Fame credentials, let's address the huge oversight that led to this report in the first place. In Souls of Sports number 5, the 3 number ones, we highlighted an incredible rarity: 3 consecutive number 1 overall picks, Cade Cunningham, Paolo Banchero, and Victor Wembanyama, who are all on track to become superstars and potential Hall of Famers. But in our excitement over that rarity, we completely forgot about Anthony Edwards, the number 1 pick in 2020, which means the streak isn't just 3 years long, it's 4 years in a row. This isn't just a minor mistake, this is a major historical moment in NBA history. The historic 4-year streak of number 1 picks. Let's put this in perspective. Anthony Edwards 2020, Cade Cunningham 2021, Paolo Banchero 2022, and Victor Wembanyama 2023. This marks only the second time in NBA history that 4 consecutive #1 overall picks have the potential to become Hall of Famers. The only other time, 1980 to James Worthy, 1983 Ralph Sampson, and 1980 for Hakeem Olajuwon. But even then, it was only 3 straight. We are witnessing history in real time. What Anthony Edwards has already accomplished at just 23 years old. Edwards has already put together an early career that screams future Hall of Famer. Number 1 overall pick automatically puts him in elite company. Multiple-time NBA All-Star, already one of the league's top players. Franchise leader, he's the clear face of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Elite two-way player, a dominant scorer and defender. Playoff success, led deep playoff runs, including knocking out the defending champion Denver Nuggets in 2024. Team USA standout, was the best player on Team USA in the 2023 FIBA World Cup. He's not just good, he's on a legendary trajectory. What's left to cement his place in Springfield? Well, he's already in the conversation. Here's what could guarantee his Hall of Fame status. Win an MVP. He has the potential to be the best player in the league, lead Minnesota to the NBA Finals. Even one Finals appearance would put him in elite company. Win a championship, a ring would elevate his legacy to another level. Continue making All-NBA and All-Defensive teams. If he keeps this up, his case is undeniable. The future of the NBA may be Anthony Edwards. He isn't just a future Hall of Famer, he's part of the NBA's next generation of superstars.